All right, the time is now 6 o'clock, and we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order and start with roll call.
Alderman Lusher?
Here.
Alderman Berkey?
Here.
Alderman Nafziger?
Here.
Alderman Watts? Alderman Bury? Alderman Slayball?
Here.
Mayor White?
Here. Please rise for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, as we gather together today, we ask for your spirit of unity to be present among us. Help us to put aside any personal agendas or differences and work together in harmony towards our common goal. We trust that with your guidance and grace, we can achieve a sense of unity and work together effectively. May our words be filled with love and respect for one another, and may not our actions reflect the unity that we strive for. In your holy name, amen. All right, we'll go ahead and open up for public comments first. No public comments. All right, go ahead and move on. First item we had was discussion action on allowing Alderman Watts to attend remotely. There's been some technical difficulties, so he will just be not part of it tonight. We'll go ahead and move on to consent agenda. We have approval of minutes, April 21st, 2026 regular meeting, approval of minutes, May 5th, 2026 regular meeting, and resolution to approve payment of bills, resolution 2026-10.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, Alderman Lusher. Alderman Slayball.
And the consent agenda.
All right, roll call.
Alderman Lusher?
Aye.
Alderman Slayball?
Aye.
Alderman Bury?
Aye.
Alderman Nafziger?
Aye.
Alderman Berkey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to officers' reports. I don't really have much at this time. Our new city administrator, Brian, is underway. He will start attending probably at the next meeting. He has some time scheduled with several of the department heads to kind of start weeding through some things so we can start continuing some of the cuts we need to make and just getting on a clearer path. Only other thing I want to say is just a brief little statement. I asked the people that are normally here, it seems only a couple of you are actually here this time, but please let people know to either attend the meetings or watch them online. They'll get information second and third hand. It seems to spark a lot of controversy. Or reach out to your alderman or myself with your questions. You know, we're pretty direct. We'll talk about anything. So please just pass it along. Get people to start watching the minutes for themselves and know where things are. And then after that, we'll go ahead and move on to new business. We're going to kind of jumble these around a little bit. We're going to do item G first, the discussion and action on seizing discussion pertaining to any future data center project or proposal possibilities.
Make a motion. Cease all discussions pertaining to any future needs.
Okay. Alderman Lusher. Alderman Nafziger. Okay, and any discussion?
Yes, what do you mean by speaking?
We're not going to look into it any further.
Yeah, it shouldn't be CC. I thought CC was good.
Tammy.
I looked it up one time. Yeah, CC.
We'll correct that, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, CC, I'm just curious as to why you want to see this. Are you intending, like, there's legislation in the county, there's legislation in the state?
The amount of people that have reached out that are against it, that's why I am. Alderman Watts had made a post about himself, and I'm not saying you're not sort of strong, just I listened to the people and the majority have told me they don't want anything to do with it, so I'm just, that's my move.
So
now, if you guys want to,
we're never ever going to consider it?
we cannot control what is brought up later in the future, if another council brings it up, or if something changes legislation brought up, we can't control that. We're just saying at this time we're not, that's what I'm saying. But, I mean, obviously it's a council decision, but we're just saying at this time we're not going to continue considering it. But, like I said, we can't control the future ones, though, either, even with ordinances. I've spoken to the attorney, like what we can do there. According to our attorney, the only thing we can do is just make it to where they have to go through a longer process. That's it.
So, did you second the motion?
No.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah. Nope.
More discussion, more discussion.
Anyone else? Any other discussion besides? I guess
Well, everything, I mean, anybody I've talked to, and several people have texted me and called me, I mean, nobody's really for it at all, so I haven't had any positive feedback on it at all, so.
No.
Unless it's having some technical problems.
All right, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, talk loud. Well, we had that trouble earlier too. So.
Well, anyway, I'll just talk about it. But I just don't like the idea of something and just kind of going forward where we don't. It's a hypothetical question. I mean, I might personally, I think there are 5 reasons why we should not see storm, even though I know some people are against it. But I mean, one reason is we can use any types of funds. Second reason is these are the richest couples. And if they're willing to be profound, let's entertain what they have to say. I'm not saying roll over that and do everything they want, but let's at least hear them. There have been some municipalities that have gotten very good. They've had deals, they have not seen the savings or the promises that they have. But there have been some good ones in that. And actually, we have a couple of guys right here. They have Pearl Technology. They have half block one in Korea. And they have a full block one in Korea. And they also offer like backup office space. So it's for businesses, not only to store data, because anytime you need to click, or anytime you have a medical record, or anytime you have a school record, you need to canvas it, college, it makes it safe, and that data has to be stored. And it almost seems like a little bit to say, okay, I'm going to have an online thing where we're going to go against data centers, but yet you're generating all this data that has to be stored. And almost a little bit of arrogance to say not enough data. There are some good data centers. And then another data center is at and ironically, their data centers that was sold nothing has melted down. It's next to medical facilities. The water hasn't drained. Everything is okay. It's very small. I personally would not think for any type of data center where we were tearing up the environment. I'm new to this area. I took the class in soil conservation, and I did learn that some of the best soil in the world is located right next to it. The area we're looking at is already it's already been through.
What area? That's not our area.
No, it's not ours, but potentially.
That's the
yeah,
thing. That's not ours, so we're not controlling theirs.
Right.
So.
But I mean, that was the, because this is all hypothetical. It is all hypothetical, and also we have to look outside of their revolutionaries. They don't cut their taxes, or they leave their taxes. And now the taxes will go down. What's going to happen? So that is something that is really
That.
So, I mean,
I was just saying, because with Cat.
I just don't think, I mean, I don't feel that people disagree with me. Half the time you're right, because that's kind of the gig. But, just disagreement doesn't mean that conversation I mean, but, and also, just getting back to the potential benefit is that, I just pulled some are for HVAC units and electricians, these are having engineers, I mean, they're all assistant engineers.
Temporary
So,
jobs.
you know, I'm older than everyone here, and so I have a lot of friends who say, oh, my kids like Delavan and all that. Well, it's just nice to have something that we have to. You know, if I have a needed STEM or computer science, you know, I don't want to have stuff that needs it. That's okay, but, you know, that's not my spot. So just food for thought.
But again, most of those jobs, like HVAC and stuff, that's temporary. That's for when they're building. It's not long-term positions. They're not going to have all those positions.
You have to have computer. You have to have computer.
Yeah, but there's not going to be I'm just saying to what you just said, HVAC, this, that, and the other, that's all temporary positions. When there's actual after, there won't be a lot.
You have to keep that maintained. That's not true. That's how they operate. It's not like you just pay and leave. No, you have to have that.
Regulatory maintenance, yes, but you're not going to have all those people still there.
No, if you're the chief engineer,
Yeah, that's
I'm
one.
not saying there's going to be 1,000 jobs, but 20 is better than no jobs. Just food for thought. Like I said, I had this, like the first time down, I feel like more strategic.
Yes, well, I vote. Any other questions, discussion? Okay, go to vote.
Alderman Lusher? Alderman Nafziger? Alderman Bury? Alderman Slayball? Alderman Berkey?
Okay, motion passes. Okay, so now we'll go back to item A, discussion action on special use permit from IMM Music Media for the Save the Stage concert to be held at Lake Park. It's like Friday, June 26th. The application should be in your packets if you guys haven't already looked them over.
These are the pictures.
Yeah, okay. She's got long copies, so that would be nice. So like the question mark, those lots of people in like Fall Fest would use, they'd have to talk to them first if we'd use them, but I don't know about like the street side. I don't see an issue with, but I don't know about along the paths going all the way through the park. Well, the other thing would be we just have to double check that, like insurance would be my thing, because I know that's our big, like when we do Fall Fest, that's the biggest thing. We have to check into that before we get into the areas. I know. I know, but we have to check and see if us having people park on it is going to be. Look into the lawsuits on what had happened on some state property where our cars bumped into each other and stuff because they didn't have a proper this marking or this, that, or the other. That's my fear. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying things to consider. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying no, I'm saying we figure that out is all. The rest of it, I don't really see anything. I do wonder, well, wait, let's see when we get to motion for more discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve the special use permit by the Optimist for Save the Stage.
No, it's individual.
Retract the Optimist.
That's a separate thing, yeah.
Who was the second?
Yeah, I think it says noon to 7 on there. Yeah, so if you go under event, there's a little spot, 10 hours, it's 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., correct? Yeah. Okay. The only thing I noticed on it that I was considering is, should we shut down that section of First Street from, like, forget that map. I'd say maybe Linden and then, yeah. Yeah, just because, they're liable to be moving. I don't want, other than, of course, the people that live there, the through traffic for that. But I think that would be the only thing I'd add. We could have just the police drop the barriers there. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. Yeah, that was my only thing, was I just wanted to, I think adding that. Other than that, I do just want a more firm, up to you guys, I just want a little more firm on the parking, but I mean, if you guys are good with these, then that's fine. We ask them every year, so I directly talked to them. I think that's what the question was. Because that's the closest place I can think of, or even as you come down, where like the actual parking is for the park on the other side where they park there during the side. We could get them set up with them. Yeah. So we could try linking up with them. Oh, yeah. I'd say as long as they're not parking along like the actual path going through. This mountain thing is they start getting over, and it was a wet day, and that's that. But as far as the road and those other patches, if we can if they can get them secured, I don't see an issue. Else have any questions or anything?
Are we looking? I mean, the people that are putting this on, are you doing this to bring awareness to the stage, or are you doing this to fix the stage? Okay. I mean, it does need some maintenance, and I've been asking for it for a couple of years, that we fix that thing, because the longer it sits there and we don't fix it, it's gonna run down. And okay. If you see me after the meeting, I can get you in touch with the Restoration Society member, and they might be looking to donate some money. So.
Any other questions? Just get the permit. Yeah. They have everything kind of set up because they're just doing it as a free. Yeah. Are you guys doing like taking donations when you're there? Is that what your plan is, to help like do some work, or just doing it? Okay. Just curious. I mean, it doesn't really. Yeah. Okay. The only thing I really request then is if we just modify it to add with shutting down that area of First Street while it's going on, which I could have Chief do, drop the barriers. And other than that, I don't have any issues. Otherwise, that was something I kind of talked to Chief about already, anyways. But he thought it might be a good idea too. So. Well, yeah, I mean, his thoughts on the plan.
I amend my motion to include the closed-off areas aforementioned.
Any other discussion before we vote? All right, go to vote.
Alderman Beery? Alderman Nafziger? Alderman Berkey? Alderman Lusher? Alderman Slayball?
Motion passes. All right, we'll be in touch with you guys on any further details we need or anything, but it looks like we're good. Yep. Okay. Let's go on next to discussion and action on a modified access point to the lagoon for lagoon project not to exceed $50,000. Nate?
In order to do the dredging at the lagoon, we need to modify or widen the access point to the lagoon. The bridge that we currently have is only rated for 10 tons, and is only 10 foot wide. We cannot take any heavy equipment or big trucks in there like we need to do for the project. I think 50,000 is on the high side, but I don't want to have to come back and ask you guys for more money later. The quote that we have is for 2 different pipes to go in there. One is 12 gauge, which is heavier. The other one is 14 gauge. We need 2 of those pipes in there, so I would suggest going with the heavier wall pipe so it lasts a lot longer. And we are going to use most of our rock will be the ballast rock off the railroad down here, and then we'll obviously have to have some smaller rock trucked in for the top coat of it.
And then the other thing was...
And we have to fix the fence for the lift station fence. We'll have to shorten it up, so we'll have to have a fencing company come in and fix that in order to for big trucks to make that corner down there.
And the only other thing, if I remember correctly, was excavator or something we would have to rent for a week, a larger one.
Yeah,
just
we'll have
get
to rent a
on the
larger
bridge.
excavator. It's somewhere around the 4,000. I haven't got a solid quote back from. No. Because we have electrical that is attached to the side of it, and it would cost us right around
That'll
$8,000 to take it off.
Yeah, that'll change this quite a bit. So this will basically be going...
We're just going to make it to the north of it, and it'll be wider access. It'll be 30-foot culverts, which will give us around 20-foot wide access at the top so that we can bring these dozers and trucks in. Right now, we currently with our dump truck with the hydrovac full, I'm technically overweight going across that bridge.
Make a motion. Not to exceed. Okay. Any further discussion? Only thing I wanted to note was we had this in mind already, when we were bringing the other projects. There's no easy way to say it. We just kind of forgot to bring it up last time, so it's not something that was kind of an oversight. It's just when we got into talking about the other things, this one just kind of didn't come up with it. So this was something we knew ahead of time. It's not like we're just going to keep adding project after project again.
Is this going to be part of the bond, or is this
Yes.
going to be okay?
Yeah, we were going to do it as part of the bond since we are significantly local. Any other question or discussions? Okay, we'll go to vote.
Alderman Lusher? Alderman Slayball? Alderman Beery? Alderman Nafziger? Alderman Berkey?
Okay, motion passes. Next item, we're going to go ahead and go down to discussion and action on purchase of Kubota mower for the amount of $18,900. Nate, you want to go ahead and run that down real quick? I'm kind of skipping around so we can just get all Nate's stuff done instead of having him bounce back and forth.
Our current zero turn that we have is about wore out and about done. It is a gasoline motor on it. As most people know, you can only get right around 1,500, 2,000 hours out of a gasoline motor before they start giving you a lot of problems. We are priced out for a diesel zero turn that we will hopefully be able to keep for 10 plus years. The quote for the motor itself is $17,900. Is additional $1,000 for a 2-year unlimited hour warranty. So it does not matter how many hours we put on it, it's good for 2 years, the extended warranty on that.
How many hours do you propose per year to put on that mower?
Somewhere between the 300 to 500 hours a year.
That's it. Okay. Those Kubota motors are rated for 5,000 hours. That's what they're rated at, but I've seen them go over that. We take care of them.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying 10 plus years I'm hoping to get out of it. And this no, it's sealed spindles on the deck. Nothing's greasable. I had put in 2 spindles last year, and I need to put 2 more in it again. Yes, but it's getting tired. It has 1,340 hours on it currently.
So whose idea was it to buy that mower 3 years ago? We should fire that person.
Well, it wasn't me.
Okay. Because I told him back then, I said, don't buy a Gravely, buy a Kubota. And here we are.
I make a motion we purchase the on 18.9
Any further discussion?
No, Nate, you know that I'm a firm believer that we should buy local. We should buy this from Rolf's down in Hartsburg. It's 20 minutes down there to get parts, 20 minutes to get back. It's an hour to East Peoria to German Plus.
Well, I guess my response to that would be, number one, Rolf's never got me a quote. So it's kind of hard to buy something when nobody gets you a quote.
Yeah, they did, because I sent it to you.
I have never received. I will show you every email I've ever received, and it's never came to my email.
Okay. Well, it's the same price, basically. So
It's the same exact price.
I think we should buy from Rolf's Implement in Hartsburg instead of German Bless.
Well, I have a question on that. What county is Hartsburg in? German Bliss is in Tazewell County. We receive tax money from Tazewell County. We do not receive it from Logan or Mason.
Well, if that's it, we were going to have how many people from the scale.
But I'm not always saying that. I'm also saying that the service side, when I dealt with Rolfs on buying the tractor, their service department is not very great about getting things taken care of for you. I've had great service through German Bliss. German Bliss, the salesman that I have for German Bliss lives in Green Valley, and if I need parts, he will either bring them or they will drop ship them. The last set of parts I got from them guys for our Batwing motor that we didn't even buy from them, they were drop shipped here within 1 day. I called on a Wednesday, they were here on a Thursday. I understand about buying local, but when you can't get service people to call you back or take care of things in a timely manner for you, it's very hard for me to work with somebody like that.
Well, I have a good working relationship with the people down in Rolf's, and I will tell you that if there's a problem with their service department, if you call Nate or Les, it'll get taken care of. If you're just going through them and taking their answers for it, then you're not going to probably get good service. I know you had problems with that Batwing before where they wound it up with fishing wire, and then they charged you to clean the fishing wire out. I mean, that's negligence on you guys' part.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
I'm just saying, I've had nothing but a great experience with Rolfs down there. I'm not sure why you guys don't.
Any other questions or discussion?
Can we break this into 2 votes? 1 for the tractor and 2 from where it's coming from? No, Linda would have to redo her motion, but well, it's the same price. Yeah. Well, okay, then let's table this for next time and use the stuff from Rolfs.
You have to make a motion to table it.
You'd have to rescind your motion. You'd have to second and then we'd table it.
If you want to wait for the,
rescind your first motion.
if that's what you want to do.
Yes, ma'am.
But here's the problem. If you do 2 votes, and so I'm going to say no if you do 1 vote. I don't know who else is going to say no. But you can get enough votes where it's not going to pass. If you do 2 votes, you get the tractor, and then you decide you buy it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we're not the one dealing with them. He's the one that's dealing with everything.
I realize that.
I mean, I agree with Linda.
So you're not going to amend. Okay. All right. So the vote on the table is to proceed with purchasing from German Bless for $17,900 and then $1,000 for the warranty. All right. Go ahead and call for vote.
Alderman Slagle?
Yes.
Alderman Berkey? Alderman Lusher? Alderman Nafziger? Alderman Bury?
Motion passes. All right. Last thing for you, Nate. Discussion action proposal for the required upgrade for the utilities at the water plant. You want to go ahead and break that down for us, Nate?
So currently, what we call the PLC system, the computer system that runs our entire water plant, we have been having multiple issues with it. Right now, we have got it temporarily wired up to make it run because we have components in it that are not working properly. And those components are expensive components that if we're going to move forward with redoing this entire PLC, it does not make sense to buy those components to fix what is wrong with the plant right now currently. We have a quote from SCADAware. For some reason, my paperwork doesn't show the price on it.
$15,452.39. Did we not have another quote?
Yes, it should be in there from Britain.
Okay.
It was for the do not exceed of $45,100. Their expected total cost was $40,600. The reason why these two are so much different from each other is SCADAware is going to utilize some of our system that is there, like our backwash system that we just did a couple years ago. They're going to reuse what's there. They can make their programming work with it. Britain wants to completely take all that out and completely replace it. They don't want to use anything that's there at all because they do not like the programming side of what is in there. And I got a better feeling from the guy at SCADAware than I did the guy at Britain when we talked with them about it. In the budget, planned for projects for the 15,000, not the other one.
Yeah, I see you got this back in February, so. 60/40. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it would just have to be, when, next motion, that would be what we would add to it, is just do a 60/40 split, but.
I'll make a motion to approve the upgrade of the water plant of the SCADAware for $15,452.39.
60/40 with Ted? Okay. Second. All right, any other questions and discussion? Okay, we'll go to vote.
Alderman Nessinger,
Aye.
Alderman Lusher, Alderman Slabo, Alderman Bury, Alderman Berkey,
Motion passes. I was going to do that at the end, just because it'd be more discussion with the other few. Yeah. We jumped around a bit. Yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and go to item F, discussion action on proposal from Mugabug for summer mosquito spraying. You guys should have the addendum there. So what we were talking about, we had some citizens reach out. I know last year we didn't do it because just no one kind of asked. We had some reach out on this. We looked into it. It's $8.50 per time. What we were proposing was to do one a month for the next 4, so June, July, August, and September. We can, however you want, but that's just kind of what our initial thought was on it. One thing differently this year, and this part is not a quick discussion, is instead of people calling to opt out, I already talked to Tammy about this. They're going to come in here and get put on a sheet, and then we'll send it up because there were some people that claimed last time their neighbors were calling, changing their voice and calling off all the people down the road so that it wouldn't come to their street at all. So we're going to have them come in, check in with Tammy. She'll add them to an Excel sheet, and then we'll send it up.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, she knows most of them, so yeah, we are going to do that propose to do that a little differently this time. So. We would also give a couple-week notice, probably send it up to water bills, whatever, to let people know, plus Facebook, get dispatched, post it, whatever. That way the word was out so they had their time to come in and get checked off if they wanted to.
approve it.
Do you want the 4 times? I just want to be specific. Okay.
For 4 months.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, then we'll go to vote.
Alderman Lusher, Alderman Nessinger,
Aye.
Alderman Bury, Alderman Slabo, Alderman Berkey,
Okay. Motion passes. Last item. It's really just discussion on proposed overtime policy. So, as we're going through everything, we're finding there's just no policies on anything. There has been some questions on overtime and some oversight on it. So really, I'm looking to get the conversation started on should we do something as far as that.
Was the employee handbook ever
So
finished?
this is kind of part of getting that finished. This is something that wasn't in there, as well as there's a few other items we're kind of looking into that we might have to add as well over the next, couple months, whatever. But this is just kind of one of the first things that really stood out was the lack of an overtime policy. this is across the board, union. But what it is it's not affecting their pay or anything when it comes to overtime. It's their reasoning for overtime, basically. The question is, since there's no oversight, they could work whatever, and we don't. You know, it's just been like, okay, there's been no question. There's never been. Yeah. Approval, basically. So it's a matter of. Yeah. So do we want to have, and just to get kind of discussion going, do we want to have something as far as like they have to call one of us when they're going to have overtime or risk it not being approved? So that would mean then if they have it, now we can say, nope, you got to cut it because that's not just one reason. Now, obviously, say Officer Dodd pulled someone over at midnight, was off at 1, but it's a DUI that took 3 hours. We're going to approve that, you know. But then some other thing comes up random that doesn't really make sense. We say, no, we don't approve you to stay for that.
No, I think legally, because we ran into some of these discussions with Bill, but the only people that can approve overtime is going to be you and a city manager. If we can't approve it, because the only time we have any official authority is when we're sitting in this room doing this.
Right.
If I'm walking down the street, you know, I can't.
Right. Okay.
Whatever. But anyway, so.
Which I'm fine with.
Okay.
I don't. And Brian, he said the same basically. Like, if you know, since he will be the, you know, he'll take those calls, this, that, the other. But I'm sure when it's later at night, it'll probably be me, which is fine. I don't mind that. I just, you know, this was getting it out there to see what you guys thought. Because, like I said, there's several gaps in our policy, and this is just one of the first ones that came out because of people talking, whatever. So it's just the first one to focus on if we should do something. And like I said, no action tonight. Just get ideas going, whatever you guys want, and we can kind of go from there. But that was one of the ideas proposed. I had someone else say, looking at some others where they have like if it's going to be over 2 hours, you got to call. But you know, to play the other side, then people are going to say, well, then they're always going to just do 2 hours and just, you know, stack it up. But I think a little bit in some cases. I don't think as much as it's put out there, but I think there's been instances where it has been, you know. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's as big as it's probably made out to be, but I believe there's probably some instances where it's justified to us to be, no, we don't want to do that. Yeah, we have nothing. And it's also a way to have a safeguard. You know, we might just we might approve everything. It might be, I guess I might approve everything. Yeah. And we might not ever. And this could be the thing that I don't want to make it sound like they're doing it wrong, but this could be the thing that, like, well, now we have the process to make sure we're abiding. I mean, that could really help people see that it's you know, justifiable. So. Yeah. I mean, and every municipality that I've talked to has one too. We just, like we said.
Well, you're filling in.
Yeah. When I came in, when we all came in last year, one of the first things I asked was the handbook, and there pretty much was no handbook. There was some starts of a police one and some starts of this one and that, and so now it's like, yeah, we wanted to focus on the budget this year now, so let's focus on the admin side. And it's kind of a good time with negotiations coming up and all that too. So. Not that this affects that, but it's just getting everything kind of reined in at once.
Okay,
No. Well, and I don't see anyone calling for that because they're going to know it's a justifiable one. It's more of the, hey, this happened, I need to come in for 5 hours. Should I or not? Or I think I should come in, not should I need to. So I think it's going to be more that case. The 15 minutes, like I said, if someone's, not that we really had any DUIs, but something like that, you know, it's easily justifiable, you know, but.
the contract currently implies that the chief of police is responsible for approving overtime. The police. It doesn't say anything about the. It doesn't say who approves it. Yeah, our contract expires 1 July, so 2 July we should have a new contract.
Correct. Does it say, like, for instance, okay, he approves his people, but who approves his?
Well,
Would be
it
my
talks about the
first.
superintendent of public works. Talks about dividing the Saturdays when they got to come in and stir the stuff. It says you can't use comp time. It doesn't really say. So I'm guessing the chief and the superintendent of public works have the authority to approve or disapprove overtime. So if that's something we want to change, I don't know that.
Well, we can, I guess in that case, we can, since it's your special, we can say we'll have another negotiation. Then we want oversight, and then we can just start from there that way. Then that'll just be as part of input.
Well, and you could also squeeze their budget, so there's no money for overtime. It's an option.
Step by step, step by step. So is, I guess, to bench discussion, is that what you think we agree to do? Is I'll just get with the union on that and we'll work with that in contract negotiations on who has oversight.
Well, we probably should put some kind of a clause in there if overtime's being abused, we probably should have some kind of leverage if somebody's abusing the overtime.
Well, I could talk with the attorney a little bit and see about like what kind of language to define, because if we're going to call it out as abuse, we've got to probably define abuse and so on and so forth. So I could talk to them on some of the language that we can use when talking with the union on it. So.
Clause section 5 says there be no pyramiding of overtime and or premium pay, and no employee shall be paid more than once for the same hours worked, i.e. maximum payment for 8 hours worked is 1.5 times the employee's regular rate, except for holiday work. And then the employer should be 1.5 times the regular pay, so this doesn't make any sense. Maximum payment is 1.5 hours, except holiday work, and then it's 1.5 hours. Or 1.5 times their pay, so that doesn't make any sense.
What does that have like that itemized that clause like?
Section 5, Article 8. Hours of work and overtime. And then Section 4 talks about the chief of police and overtime, and then Article. Doesn't make sense either. It's like they got the articles misnumbered. Because you go Article 8 and then Article 8. So it should be Article 9, it should be non-police personnel. Yeah, Article 8 and Article 9 talk about overtime pay.
Good.
Just gonna work on that real quick.
Any thoughts?
We're going to add one thing per meeting
No.
in the future.
Probably a couple of things. It's just some of the stuff we're still doing a little. Try to get with the other municipalities, make sure they have or what they have, get some ideas going. Probably be a couple of things on each coming up. Nothing else on the overtime. Let's go ahead and move forward. Other items for consideration.
I had a couple phone calls about the grass on 4th Street where the state came in and redid all the curbs for the sidewalks. And there's a lot of people not mowing that area. And when you go over and look at it, it doesn't look like they planted any grass. If they planted grass, it must have been grass that had expired or whatever and didn't germinate. So I don't know. And and it's not smooth. I mean, they just like threw dirt in there, and then the rain has kind of smoothed it out a little bit. But I don't know if we need to get whoever did that contract back over here to plant some real grass, or call the state up, because I think they were somehow involved in leasing it or whatever. But
So Nate's been working with, I guess, the rep, for lack of a better term, that was part of that, and trying to get somewhere there, and then if not, our next step is we're going to go to the city.
Okay.
He's trying to follow the processes, because we had a few that came up here as well. Some of them, there was quite a bit of gravel in there, or there was this, or there was that. They just, like you said, they didn't do it right. We've talked about sending maybe one of the city guys down just to, because the stuff is overgrowing, maybe just to weed it down a little, not chop it all the way down, because we don't want what little there is to die, but also just to kind of keep it from getting out of hand. Nate, go ahead.
Also, in them triangles or islands, you want to call it, I think we're going to core them out. I talked to the mayor. We're going to core them out, put mulch in them, and then do some kind of flowers will come back every year in them.
So in the small.
Instead of people trying to mow them, because you got to jump a 6-inch tall curb, and I don't want to tear our mowers up, and I don't think anybody else wants to tear their mowers up.
my Kubota can't get on top of those things. Yeah.
No, we've been the one down here by the park. We've been weed eating it because we can't get the mower over top of it. So that's something that hopefully within the next month we can get started on clearing them out and put mulch in.
Is there a reason why they raised those sidewalk curbs up like they did?
The only thing I can think of is for the ADA compliance, but I don't understand why they put those in there. That was not a part of the original drawings I was shown. They didn't really think about that very clear.
We're still dealing with, such as cooling outside, like country there, companies down there. There's a lot of cooling water that's happening in that little intersection there that we're dealing with, as well as, like, they didn't leave them a rail and stuff like that. So we're figuring a few things out as we go.
But I did have somebody call me about that.
Yep. Yep. No, that works.
And did you guys look at the playground equipment at Fifth Street Park?
We have not yet.
Okay.
We will go there this week.
Okay.
There's been one thing after another with getting 3rd Street and some other things going on, but we will get down there. Any other new items for consideration, or other items for consideration, as I should say? Nothing else. Time 6:52. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, guys.